all over the floor. So I won't get to use my twisty straw much, but that's okay. The other one's laying on the bed here. I did send the invite to Rick, so we'll see if he's what planet he's on tonight.
Rick the Spaceman.
if he shows up. But I did send him the oh, Graham, I got your comment on here and now you're in here. What's going on?
I was struggling to get in, so
Yeah, no, you're all good. Lynn, I just put the link in the comments here, so anybody can copy and paste that in and then join on in. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Our question: lifetime supply of bacon or winning the lottery? Bubba, well, let's start with Anna. Ladies first. Sorry, Bubba.
I would probably do winning lottery too, because I prefer steak.
Oh,
so
nothing
against bacon, but
nothing. Anyways, Bubba, what was your answer?
Well, I'd have to take the lottery, I would think.
Lottery?
But it depends what if how the bacon was proposed to you, I guess.
Yeah. What if it's beef bacon instead of pork?
Nah, I still take the pork.
I got a slight hesitation out of you. So you take the pork over? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good. Todd, what about you, bud?
Yeah, I got to take the lottery because then it depends on how much the lottery winnings is. So, I mean, if it's like one of those 500 million, then yeah, that way I can have all the Wagyu, ribeyes I want plus the bacon.
What if I say I got you? You won $10 in the lottery. You should have took that bacon.
Yeah, that would be bad. I would have taken the bacon. Yeah, for sure.
No, it's a good lump sum. It's a good lump sum. We could say, John, what would you do?
Well, I mean, between the two, I take the money and then buy whatever bacon I want.
There you go. Andrea?
Yeah, I'd probably do the lottery, but I'd buy a farm and have my own animals.
Hey, that lifetime supply of bacon. Then she says,
grow your own bacon.
Yeah,
grow my own bacon.
Graham, what about you, bud?
I thought it was a lifetime supply of bacon.
And she got it anyways and took the money. She conned the system.
Because if it was lifetime, I would open up a shop.
Hey, there you go. That's a good idea. Graham, did you get a haircut?
The bacon? Oh, that's smart.
So yeah, then I'll go with the lifetime supply of bacon.
Hey, there you go. I would do the same thing, Graham. We got two. We're two of us. We're minority. Did you get a haircut, Graham?
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thank you.
Looks good, man. Maybe I just didn't notice it till now. I don't know.
Yeah, was last week already.
All right, here's a goofy one here. If you guys could invent a meat-themed amusement park ride, what would it be called?
Meat-themed music park.
Amusement park ride,
I'd call it bacon funnel cake because I got to tell you, I think I'm going to save this story for Terry's 24-hour live stream, but I got this true story of how I got banned from all the Six Flags in the United States over a dispute over funnel cake.
Oh no, Todd!
It's the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life. But yeah, I'd call it bacon funnel cake.
Bacon funnel cake. I'd call mine the heart attack. What would you do?
I don't know.
Okay, she does. Bubba, what would yours be called?
I think you'd have to go with bumper beef.
Ooh, bumper beef. I like that.
The bumper cars, right?
Hey, Lynn. Yeah. The little bumper cars.
Yeah.
They could be like little hamburger patties just bumping into each other.
Yeah.
Bumper beef. I like that. Lynn, if you don't know, we just asked if you could invent a meat-themed amusement park ride, what would it be called? Mine would be the heart attack. What would yours be, Lynn?
What was the question?
If you could invent a meat-themed amusement park ride, what would it be called?
A meat-themed amusement park ride.
Yeah. We can come back to you. Who's up? John, you got one?
For a minute.
My wife couldn't come up with one. So we got to come back to her too. John, what about you?
I don't know, maybe the sausage link.
The what?
Maybe the sausage link.
Sausage lake or link?
Sausage link.
Hey, there's like for
'Cause I
roller
think about a
coasters.
sausage, right?
Hey, I like that. That's good. John, what about you?
I don't know. We could call it Carnivore Mountain.
Ooh,
Mm.
I like that. Andrea, you got one?
No. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how's it going?
Graham,
Dan's good at this stuff. Ask him.
Hey, if you could come up with a meat-themed amusement park ride, what would it be called?
The meat rocket.
Oh my God.
Ooh, there we go. Graham, what would yours be?
No idea. No idea.
He's like, this is too crazy for me. Lynn, I asked last time, what would be your favorite movie, Lynn?
My favorite movie?
Yep.
My favorite movie. Oh my God. I don't really have a favorite movie because I like so many.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta have one.
I'm
Like Home Alone, something?
Shrek all the way.
I'm on repeat. Like I hear myself echo.
Oh, you're on repeat. Yeah. See, maybe I don't know. Do you got
Do
a
you have
stream on?
YouTube open?
Okay, so I'm a nerd.
Andrea, do you got one?
I love Shrek, but I also like Happy Gilmore.
Oh, Happy Gilmore's a good one. That's a good
Anything
one.
Adam Sandler, I just
That and Billy Madison, it's like a toss-up.
Waterboy.
I think mine might be Super Troopers.
Super Troopers, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
You got one, Lynn?
I like chick flicks and I like musicals.
Musicals.
Oh.
Yeah, like I really like Hamilton.
Does Mamma Mia count as a musical?
Love.
Because that we watched that one, and I tell you, that gets stuck in my head. Mamma Mia, here we go
Yes.
again. Like, oh my god,
Can
what's that
anybody
other
help
one?
me
Have you seen Into the Woods?
figure out how to get myself
No, I haven't seen that.
to stop repeating?
Yeah, do you have another browser open?
Yeah, or is it open on your cell phone too? The stream.
Do you have YouTube open in a different window?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, close that out.
There we go. That was it.
That fix
Thank
it?
you. I was
Yeah.
going nuts because I was like delayed and echoing.
Oh, you're all good.
So I think I'm good now. Thank you.
Who's got a
I'm
favorite
new to this
musical?
whole live stream thing.
Mine would be Mamma Mia. I'm just
I
gonna
love
admit
Mamma Mia. My daughter and I, whenever we want a pick me up, we'll watch that.
it.
So
It's just you can't help but smile.
So I did musical theater, and I was in Godspell, and it is my favorite.
Gotcha. I never heard of
Never
that one.
seen it. Never even heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. It's like song and dance based on the Book of Matthew. It is.
Oh,
Huh.
cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
Is there some place like online that you can watch it?
So I think in the 80s they made a movie. So
Okay.
it's God and spell
Spell.
like
all one
gospel.
word?
Yeah,
Cool.
GODSPELL.
Interesting. I
I'll
never
have
heard
to
of that
look
one.
Yeah.
Another musical to watch. Yay.
The weather
That's-
just went from 90 to 55 like I saw a state trooper. LOL. Let's see. Oh, wait. What is this one? A meat-themed ride. I would make butter pat water slide. Hey, there you go.
Cool.
Yeah, like a butter slide. That would be awesome.
Mhm.
Bacon grease slide.
Who's got the dog?
Me.
I got two of them up here. Luckily,
And
one
I'm
of them's
home
really tired.
alone. I'm home alone, and whenever I ignore them, they start barking.
Oh, they want some attention, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got a funny one. What's your carnivore pickup line? You got one?
No. I don't know.
I would say yeah, I don't know actually.
I mean, is there anything other than happy to meet you?
Oh, there you go.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
nice to
See,
meet
there you go.
Of course, they wouldn't know that it was a carnivore.
You guys
line.
would get the dates. They would just walk right by me. I got nothing to say.
I don't
Bubba,
need a
what you
pickup
gotta have a
line.
pickup line, Bubba.
I don't know. I'd probably say something like, "You want some beef?"
Bubba, you dirty dog, you.
Well, you might as well get to the point, right?
You dirty dog, you Bubba. I love it. Look at that grin on his face. He's all about it, man. Todd, what about you?
What was the question? Sorry.
What's your carnivore pickup line?
Oh Jesus. Carnivore
Oh,
pickup
Jesus.
line.
What? Yeah.
Man,
Do you like
that's
your
a
eggs
tough one.
scrambled or fertilized? I know that one probably wasn't the greatest one. It got Bubba to laugh.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. That would be
Oh
mine.
man.
John, do you got one?
Oh
We can
man.
come back to you, Todd.
These are getting cringeworthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of nothing.
Nothing I'm going to share on live, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
my
funny.
gosh.
Dan, what about your carnivore pickup line? We got to
gosh.
hear Dan's. I know he's
No.
got one.
No.
I'll probably refrain a little bit because the only things that are coming to mind aren't very appropriate.
I'm having the same problem, Dan. I'm having the same
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Lynn, you had the
Yeah.
best one. You could. That's PG. Just nice to meet you.
It's actually G.
Oh, yeah. If I
yeah.
So I didn't hear what other people said, but I'd be like, it's I can't wait to meet you and just spell it with MEAT. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's about as bad as yeah.
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to
That's
slip-
better than mine.
you
That's
have to
more clean
slip
than
him a
mine
note.
was.
Had him a note, old fashioned 1980s style.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, what I did was I went on Chat GPT and typed in funny questions to ask carnivores. And it actually gave me questions. I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, I'm gonna ask them too.
Did you ask it
Oh,
to
good.
give you some answers?
No, I you guys are my computers for that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But who's had like some big non-scale victories this week? Anybody?
I have one that's, I don't know if everybody can relate to or not, but it really meant a lot to me. I can tie my own shoes
That's
without
great.
help.
Ooh, good one.
And if you've been morbidly obese, you understand that.
When I was
Because
54, I'd lose my breath tying my shoes because my belly couldn't extend to breathe. So it was
Well-
cutting off my my windpipe.
well, yeah, bending over and being able to breathe, that's another thing too. Like I can actually, like, I could bend over and breathe, but I had to get right back up. Like I could pick something up, but staying down, no. So I can actually stay down more, but like I'll sit on the steps of my going down into the garage and put my shoes on, and I have to like try. Before I had to like reach down and grab my ankle and pull it up on the opposite knee and try to hold it there and put my shoes on because it would fly back off because my belly was so big. I wouldn't stay on my knee. And I just noticed this week that, wait a minute, it actually stays there and I don't have any trouble at all putting my shoes on.
That's great.
Yeah. So that means I've lost belly fat, which is good.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
Bubba, what are you doing for weights? You up to a goal number or something?
No, not really. I'm just using what they call a periodization. So every week I just go up a little bit. You know, it's going to take me a while, but I don't even know if I ever get back to where I used to be. But I think that's pretty hard to attain. But I'll be 57 in I think 2 weeks. So
It's almost your birthday.
any upward direction is good. I guess I was sort of revising my goal today when I was in the gym, was thinking about, wouldn't it be nice by the time I say 60 to say be in the best condition I've ever been in my life?
That'd be
I
amazing.
mean, yeah, it would be, because I don't know, like I trained with, back in the day, I trained with some pretty hardcore guys, and some of them were internationally ranked competitors and stuff like that. And we always used to go into that dark place. And I was talking to my son about it tonight because he wants to start training with me, and I said, well, I said the most important thing is, I said, you have to have some level of commitment to do what you have to do. And it's like, if you're going to train at a certain time every day, you got to make sure you're there. Like, it doesn't matter, what you're going through. Like last week, I was having a real issue with my ankle, and I still went in there and still did what I had to do. So you have to be willing to go there, and not, I don't know how to say it cleanly, but not wuss out, right? Like,
Right.
there's got to be something there. And
I'm gonna go get
you
my
know,
dog.
Okay,
I'll be back.
Lynn.
a level of commitment to make the change, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm with you, but Bubba, I think you're killing it too. And what were you talking about in your newest video?
Motivation.
Yeah, I wonder who gave me that idea. Hey, Graham.
Graham, you guys
Yeah.
plotting and scheming over there?
No, he sent me a note like, oh, how do you get motivated to go to the gym? And so I wrote him this thing, and I started thinking about, oh, I got to do that in a video. But I think the greatest motivation we all have, I'm sure everybody feels it, no matter what your journey is or how you go about it. I mean, you don't have to go to the gym. You do you, right?
Right.
But if we were truly happy with the way we were and the way we are, we wouldn't have the motivation to go push forward. And that's basically it. So, I guess people call it their why or whatever. But, for me is, I've done so much damage to myself. I want to mitigate or reverse as much as I can, because I was looking at, double hip replacements and knee replacements and stuff.
Mm.
And had the MRIs done and the CT scans and all that stuff. And with me going in my machine, that beats the hell out of me. And if I'm in that much pain, I don't want to take my Harley out or anything like that, right? So you gotta change that, and try and make a bit of a difference within your own life.
Look,
He's saying hi, Bubba, and he's saying hi to the.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, isn't that cool? You got one eye. Tell him. Yeah, you're killing it, Bubba. You're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just trying to do my best. That's all.
You guys, I got the coolest shirt on the way from John, man. His new T-shirt design is the bomb, man. It's got
Yes,
like a wolf on there, and it says Carnivore Diet, and it says Stay Wild. I was like, dang.
It's cool.
I would expect you'll get it probably Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, for some reason, like the shipping code I sent you, it was like saying it wasn't valid. I was like, what do you mean it's not valid? I was like, the one they gave me. So I don't know.
I don't know.
At least when I typed it in, it didn't work for me. I was like, well, I'm sending it to him. Hopefully it works for him.
It shipped out today, so I expect you'll receive it first part of next week. And I've had a couple sales, but they're up on my Etsy, they're up on my Facebook, so there should be a nice, comfortable shirt too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm excited. That's cool. Homesick Buckeye, what up, family? What's up, dude? We're grilling, baby. That's his thing. He loves saying that. We grilling, baby. What's your dog's name again, Lynn?
well, that one was Gracie. She wasn't the one that was barking.
Oh,
Max was barking, but she was irritated because I fed him and not her.
oh,
So she was all wiggly, like, let me go feed me.
Are your dogs carnivore?
Well, their dog food's not carnivore. They would love
It's a
to be
trend though. People
carnivore.
are starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
my
should be.
dog's carnivore.
They probably should be
I started
carnivore.
feeding my dogs carnivore this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought people were crazy many years ago that you had their dogs on raw carnivore diets.
Yeah.
And one of them had a shepherd that had major skin issues, and they switched it over to a raw carnivore diet, and it fixed all of the dog skin issues.
Mm.
Well, it's a
And that
great
was
What type
diet
of meat
for a
was it eating,
dog.
Dan?
I
what was
believe it.
that?
I've got.
What type of meat are the dogs eating, you guys?
Mine,
I'm
I'm
not sure
feeding
what the
her
meat
beef.
was. I know that it was mostly coming from like a local farm where this family was getting their raw meat for their dog. But
Was it like beef, chicken?
chicken, beef, turkey, lamb, like they were feeding it all kinds of stuff. Eggs, a lot of different like raw diet.
I thought about switching our dogs over. They're old. Like Gracie, who I had with me, she's 16
Yeah.
and she's in great shape. So I don't know. I've been thinking about maybe trying to transition them over to a carnivore diet because, of course, we want them to live as long. Our other dog's max is 15. So, and they're both in really great shape. So we want them to live long.
John, what's your dog eating?
Did you ask me? Sorry.
John and Todd, because both you guys,
Oh.
you guys said your dogs are eating carnivore.
Sorry, my internet bumped there.
Oh yeah,
so
I can do a
mine,
dance. It does it.
yeah, you can do the little dance while I'm taking a break. Anyways, we picked up 10-pound bags of chicken leg quarters and ran it through a meat grinder. Carnivore Soldier actually is the one that he did a video on it, was talking about it when I did an interview with him the other day. And so he got me thinking. So we picked up a couple bags. We did 20 pounds, and we got 3 dogs. So they're all loving it. And it's a great diet. And I did a bunch of research on it and found out that chicken bones aren't bad for dogs if they're raw. If you cook chicken bones, then they're bad for dogs. But in a raw state, they won't splinter and break up and cause dogs to have internal problems. So
just beware that when you're feeding them chicken, if they start having seizures, it's the chicken. Because I got a 16-year-old poodle, standard poodle. And before I started carnivore, I was feeding her chicken all the time, and she had seizures for 5-6 years solid. And they're really violent. And it was driving me crazy. And I took her to the vet, and they could never figure out. They just said it was hereditary and that she was just always going to have them. And then when I went carnivore, I stopped eating chicken and started eating beef because I just noticed chicken was making me not feel good. And so I put my dog on beef, and I didn't realize it at the time, but all of her seizures went away.
Oh.
And then I went to there's a local farm here that I bought 20 laying chickens from so I could have fresh eggs. And I was talking to the lady, and I said, I don't feel very good when I eat chicken compared to, like, when I eat beef, I feel great. When I eat chicken, I just feel a little bit off, and there's something weird about it. And I said, is there anything going on with the chicken that you know of? And she said, yeah, the mass produced chicken that's in the grocery store is basically it's genetically modified. It's not genetically modified like in a lab or something, but what they're doing is they're crossbreeding 2 species of chickens that don't breed in the wild, so they have to incubate them and make them fertilize the egg. And if you've ever seen Super Size Me 2, she told me to watch that movie, but you can see that it makes the chickens a lot bigger, but it makes them really unhealthy and sick. And she said they found this out, that people were having problems with the mass-produced chicken now because there's a bunch of people their dogs were having seizures by eating that chicken. And she said when they took them off the chicken, the seizures went away. And that's the exact problem. As soon as she said that, it dawned on me that that's what happened to Cosette. And then on a side note, when I started feeding her beef, she's 16, and I was having to help pick her up off the floor because her hips weren't working. Poodles tend to have hip problems because they have long legs.
Yeah.
And now her hips, it's been 6.5 months, and now she still is a little bit slow, but man, it's 1,000% better. Like she can get up off the floor, she jumps up on the bed and have a real high bed. And I mean, she's 16, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting because I have the same problem with chicken. So
Oh, really?
yeah, that's really interesting. That
It's
makes
also the chicken is like bleached and just Dan and I were just talking about this. It's so hard to find good quality chicken. There are some companies that they don't bleach it and they're heirloom chickens and they're good quality, but it's pretty expensive and hard to
Very.
find.
I just
Yeah, I don't
do
even mess with it no
avoid-
more. I just do beef, but yeah,
Yeah.
the chicken definitely, it makes me just feel off and gives me gut problems, and I just feel low energy when I eat chicken. When I eat beef, man, I got energy through the roof, you know?
It's now I want to know, like, so this feeling of feeling off, it does describe, like, I have the same sensation. It's not like there's anything super specific that I can point to when it comes to, like, after I've eaten chicken. It just feel like the way you described it is perfect. You just feel off.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
you-
can't put my
it's
finger on it either, but you know, like I've just figured out that I feel like a superhuman when I eat beef, and same with salmon, especially raw salmon. If I beef and raw salmon, I feel fantastic. It's better than, you know, I used to feel, you know, better, more energy than I used to get drinking Red Bulls and stuff, you know. But
Well, you
chicken,
gotta remember the chicken is extremely lean and you're not getting enough fat.
It's true.
You know, so when you eat chicken, you got to make sure you get your fat levels up because it definitely will make you sluggish. When I have chicken, I normally have to eat the next day by noon. If I eat a steak or a ribeye, then I can normally carry through 24 hours between meals. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's the fat load.
well, and I get that too for sure, but I was always very aware of that. So whenever I'd eat chicken, I'd make sure I had a bunch of butter with it, or
Oh, yeah.
you know, subsidize the fat. And to kind of put that in perspective too, I tend to eat a lot of sirloin. I really like prime sirloin, and that's a kind of a lean cut of beef. And so I always add extra fat to it. But just chicken makes me just feel low energy and just kind of, you know, just on the verge of like I'm almost going to be sick or something, but not quite there. And like pork, I can eat pork all day. I don't feel bad and I don't feel good on pork. It's just kind of, you know,
Filler.
flatline. But chicken actually makes me feel bad, and beef and salmon make me feel awesome, you know.
Yeah,
They've
that
pushed
after eating
chickens.
that, I couldn't sit down.
They've pushed chickens to the point now that these Cornish chickens that they put out for their large breast meat, those things grow from from being born to being ready to butcher in like 8 weeks.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
8
that's
to
not
10 weeks.
normal.
Yeah,
and they're
and they
huge.
they grow so fast and they get so heavy that they can't walk.
Yeah,
Nope.
they're literally disformed because they're so
Yeah,
big.
they just literally. I grew some. I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, and literally they just lay around because they're just so heavy.
Yep. Yeah, and
That-
then their bones will break, and they'll have heart attacks just, you know, with a loud noise or.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. So
I
Yeah,
have
they're-
noticed some chicken I've bought that seem to have very brittle bones.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
But
The good-
you
the
also
good
find
rule
that
of
like
thumb
the
that I
bag
try
the
to go
bag
by-
chicken that I buy isn't those chicken. They're actually egg layers that have gone to the point where they're no longer laying eggs.
Yeah,
So
that would.
you just gotta know what you're looking for. But
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome if they're just egg layers, you know.
yeah, most of your big bag of leg quarters is gonna be egg layers that have been past their prime and now they've turned them into meat.
That'd be
They're-
good. Yeah, I didn't know that. That makes good sense, though.
Wow.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, every time I do chatting with carnivores, I learn something new, and then we can all just keep on being better carnivores, just improving our A game even more. You with me, Bubba?
Yeah, I'm just listening to the chicken stories.
Oh yeah. No, good.
You want to hear a chicken story kind of?
Yeah, sure.
Kind of.
It's to do with KFC actually. It's kind of
Okay,
funny.
this is definitely a chicken story.
Yeah, well, my mom was adopted,
Yeah.
and her birth family I found in a place called Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. And I had, when I was together with the ex and the kids were little, my dad grew up in northern Saskatchewan, so I was back there visiting my Aunt Phil before she passed away. And so we decided to drive to Prince Albert. And so I found these McGee's, and we all met up at like I don't know, it was like a Denny's or something like that. And my mom's first cousin actually had the patent for the gravy for KFC.
Really?
And how that came about was she had a resort, and 4 times a year the colonel would come there and bring his people there. And he told her that he wanted to add a sauce to his restaurants, and he liked the gravy that was made. So he asked her for the recipe. And then she went into the kitchen and grabbed the recipe off the cook and sold it to him.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And she became extremely, extremely wealthy after that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would imagine. That's some good sauce.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
hear my
So
dog
she,
barking again?
Yeah, a little bit.
Tell me if it's too bothersome.
Oh,
I'll
you're
have
all
to
good.
restrain him.
Hey, Sophia, eat steak. Everybody say hi to Sophia. Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
Sophia.
hello.
All
She's
right,
doing
it's
great.
All right, everybody, I'm hopping
yeah.
off. My
Oh,
my internet's pretty poor. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. So
All right, Dan, it
catch
was
y'all
nice
later.
talking to you, bud.
I'm going
You
to.
bet.
Yeah.
It's late.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
tired.
Bye,
before
Andrea.
before
See
you
y'all.
leave, Andrea,
Yeah.
I just got done watching your interview,
Mhm.
and I'm probably going to connect with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have, and I interviewed the night before you did with JT. So like I was really like the things you were talking about mold were really resonating with me. Like I have actually tested positive for mold toxicity, mycotoxin tests, but it's not in my home. Like we did an inspection. It was beautiful. The inspector said it was probably one of the cleanest mold wise houses he's ever seen. But we're thinking that with me, I don't clear mold from my body.
Yeah, so you can get the MTHFR gene mutation and have a
Yeah.
hard time clearing it. So you ultimately become the mold factory.
Yeah,
And
and mold
you
is mold toxicity is a trigger for my condition too, mast cell activation syndrome. And when I was listening to you, I'm going, she has mast cell activation for sure.
I have a YouTube video on that.
Yeah,
check
That might be part of the issue with the chicken too. You might feel like a malaise type of feeling.
So I
when
think
you
you
eat
and I
chicken.
have some things in common.
Yeah.
And like I have to stick with low histamine foods and I recognize the mast cell activation big time in listening to your interview because all your symptoms, all the reactivity are that's definitely mast cell activation from the mold.
Yep. I tried to convince all my allergists that I have it, and they're like, no. And I'm like, I definitely have it.
I ended up having a bone marrow biopsy last year to confirm for sure because my tryptase levels were pretty elevated.
Yeah.
It turns out I also have something called hereditary alpha tryptosemia, which is like I genetically produce extra tryptase.
Wow.
So it's hard to get a diagnosis. But I also think I have POTS too, a mild version of POTS.
Yeah. So mast cell activation and POTS go hand in hand.
They do.
It's a whole you have mast cells everywhere in your body,
right?
But they just don't release histamine. So, are you taking any like mast cell stabilizers?
Oh yeah, I've been seeing a naturopathic, and I'm a nurse. I've actually just had to retire in February because of my MCAS, and but yeah, it's actually doing a lot better. Now it's improving for sure.
So lamb is lower in histamine than beef is. So if you get your hands on lamb, it may help.
Yes, I do eat lamb.
Okay.
Yeah. And I avoid aged or smoked beef. I don't eat any bacon. In fact, I have a video on my channel all about low histamine carb.
Oh yay! Yeah.
Carnivore.
Yes, low histamine.
Yeah,
carnivore.
I'm big time into education too, because like I said, I'm a nurse too, and I have an education and teaching as well. So I really resonated with a lot of things you said.
Oh, thank you.
I wanted to share that with you before you leave. I'll subscribe to your channel.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, whatever. I mean, it definitely histamine and mast cell problems are overlooked so frequently, and they really need to be addressed. And carnivore helps a lot. I've been carnivore for a year and a half now, and
Oh wow.
I can have ground beef, I can have aged meat, I can have eggs, I can have even like the higher histamine things.
Love it.
So it's getting better. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm curious to find out if that's going to happen with me because of the hereditary alpha tryptophanemia, which is another complicating factor. But we'll
So
see.
I think either kidneys or there's an organ, either kidneys or adrenals that has the DAO enzyme in it.
Oh, excellent.
Rebecca Heisman talks about it. Yeah, but look up a DAO enzyme.
I subscribe to her.
Okay, I think it's kidneys, and you can get all those organ meats at Billy Doe Meats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good info. So I wanted to catch you before you left.
Yeah. Well, nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
And
Nice to
I
meet you.
will, Lynn, do you have an Instagram?
I don't, but I have email midlifecarnivore@gmail.com.
Yeah. And you have, well, I'll get your YouTube too.
I'm gonna have to. Everyone keeps asking me if I have an Instagram. I'm gonna have to get one. But yeah, midlifecarnivore@gmail.com.
And you have a YouTube?
I do. It's also called Midlife Carnivore.
Perfect. All right. I will go find it. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
my story was yesterday, so you can
Okay.
check it out.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Weekend. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? Sophia, I think I sent you the link, Sophia, if you want to jump in here anytime you want, sweetie. Wow, finally worked. Rick, I sent you the link too. You can jump in whenever you want to, my guy. Rick, I got a friend here. He wants to meet you. Rick, where are you, Rick? Rick likes dogs.
So I think I'm gonna have to check out too. Got to get my dog under control. And my
Thanks for-
husband is on his way home from British Columbia, so I gotta probably get him some food.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by, Lynn. Hopefully you had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. It's great to kind of officially meet you guys. So
Right.
Okay.
how do I
Bye-bye.
exit?
I can get you. Here you go. There you go. I think
That's when you give her a warm fuzzy, eh?
there we go. Yeah, she's still she's around. But yeah, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
It's funny how you did that.
Yeah. The axe right there.
You guys are funny.
Sounds like a kick day.
You guys are funny. Rick, where are you at, man? We want to see what planet you're on tonight.
No more frozen lizards. Crazy,
Frozen
Dad.
lizards, man.
I hope his microphone's working.
I hope my pickup line didn't scare all the girls off besides my wife.
Oh no.
What did you think about my pickup line, Bubba? Do you think it was funny?
What
That's
was it?
hilarious, but
The
man,
eggs.
I couldn't do anything
Oh, yeah,
that
no.
wasn't going to be audience appropriate.
Yeah, no. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have said that in front of the ladies." But yeah, sorry about that.
Exactly. Mhm.
I acknowledge you. Yes, I did.
Well, we're all adults, right? You know.
Lynn says that was too funny. I got the quick boot. No, Lynn, I didn't boot you till you asked for it, sweetie. What? How do you guys say this name?
Percival.
Parzival?
I
I'm
think
so
it's-
drunk tonight. Oh boy. I'll shave my head clean with foam and razor if a woman comes in and okay, smokes it. All right, nice. You know, times are good.
Yeah.
Holy moly. You guys, John's got a stream coming up on Sunday morning, right?
Yeah, Sunday. Well, it'll be Sunday noon Eastern, Sunday morning for you.
Oh, okay. We got
It'll be 5, 6 o'clock in Europe. But yeah, we're gonna do a live stream on.
Hey,
on,
Sean, how you doing? Sorry about that.
Oh,
John.
Sean, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? What's happening?
Thanks for stopping in, bud.
Yeah, man. The after party.
Yeah, man, we like hanging out. Me and my wife like hanging out just with whoever wants to hang out on Fridays, and I think it's a great chance for everybody to get to meet each other and share some victories, share some laughs. We were talking about carnivore pickup lines. You got any good carnivore pickup lines, Sean?
Oh man, no, I don't have any good. Man, I haven't been single since I was 18.
Well, mine was so bad, I might end up single. So,
Right.
What about this one, Sean? We said, if you could design a meat themed amusement park ride, what would it be?
Oh my goodness.
Mine would be the heart attack. Rick would like that. Rick's right here, right now. Have you met Rick yet?
Yeah, finally. Hey, what's up, Rick?
Well, that's a good question. It's been one of those days.
Rick, I just asked Sean about his a meat themed amusement park ride. You got one? I told Rick. I said mine would be the heart attack.
I kind of like that. That's funny.
But if you come up with one, Sean, let me know. Also, too, we asked last week, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. That I've been asked that one before. That's a hard one, man. It would probably be the. I don't watch a lot, but it would be somewhere between The Godfather and the Jason Bourne series, like somewhere in those two. In between
Godfather's
those two.
a good one. Yeah, mine would be Predator. First one with Arnold.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times, and I just can never get sick of it, man. Painting his face and going to battle, like.
I liked the new Predator movie.
Yeah, did you guys see the new Predator, Prey?
Right.
It's a Hulu exclusive. They're really dogging us Predator fans. I can't get it on hard copy yet, but it's on Hulu. It's pretty good. It's like when the Predators first land here, and there was Native Americans, and then they had to battle the Predator with like less weapons. It was badass.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It was really good.
It was it was the real deal hunters versus other real deal hunters. So. Did you see it, Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's awesome.
I want Carrie to see it. Just the film angles and stuff in that movie. It's very cinematic. Oh, I got a great one. If you guys could name the carnivore diet movie, what would you call it? Sean, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of that since Carrie introduced the idea to me after the first interview that we had. I don't know, man. Honestly, it would have to be something that bordered or united all the, like, I was trying to think of something that would fit for all the people who've never heard of it, and also for all the people who are trying to find motivation to stay with it, you know? I don't know. It'd be a tough one. Probably hope. I don't know. Something to do with hope. Just something to do with hope.
That's hot. I like that though.
That's one of my biggest things, man, because that's what I found, you know. Obviously, you know, most everybody here has heard my story ad nauseum, you know, but I'm not gonna go into it much. But you know, just finding that hope, man. There's a lot of hurting people, and that's where I spend most of my time. That's why I'm not, you know, in a lot of the stuff like this and whatever. I do the lives and whatnot, but you know, I spend a lot of time trying to talk outside of here. You know, private communities and stuff, because I think that's where a lot of the real change and a lot of real encouragement and stuff happens.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's been my favorite one I've heard so far. Hope.
We're getting an echo.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I don't know who's that's on. Rick, are you in space again?
I don't know. Do I sound good or do I sound bad?
You sound pretty good.
Well, that's good. I must be on Earth.
Rick, what would you call the carnivore diet movie? I like Hope though. That is amazing. I like that one.
I don't know. I would think of something like Eating to Live, or I don't know, something about health span over lifespan. But to me, that was always my theory. I didn't care if I had a heart attack as long as I felt good and wasn't so skinny and weak.
Mm.
I'd call it the cure.
Oh, the cure.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that is a good one. Bubba, what would you call it?
Oh, something simple like meat or death.
Oh, Bubba doesn't play
I
around.
didn't
He
think.
gets right in there.
Yeah, no.
If you haven't
Right
met Bubba,
in the
he's full of
eyes.
Bubba isms.
I would say the miracle of eating meat.
Mm,
That's pretty good.
that is. John, you got one?
I don't know. It had to be something based around nutrition. I mean, it had to be, the nutrition code or.
I
Something
like it.
catchy. I mean, even something like the fat fix or something. Something
Mhm.
catchy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's too much out there, but
See, I was trying to think of why is supersize me so catchy?
yeah.
Right.
Like that's a term like they took from from the fast foods, like supersizing. We got to figure out like a term like that. Like, I don't know, but hope is, I still do like that one, but
Or even something like undeniable, like because of all the things, and I mean I know that's just like one word kind of a cliche idea, but like undeniable, it's
yeah,
undeniable the effects that
it
eating the
is
proper
though.
human diet has. I mean, you see all the testimonies, and I mean, I don't know, something like that. It's fun to think about.
Oh, it is that, and that one's been racking my brain lately. I was just like, it reminded me of the book I read, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill wrote that one, and he was on. There's a video on YouTube you guys can look up. He was talking about how he just couldn't come up with the name for the book, and he was the guy who was writing the book was like, well, I'm just gonna call it something stupid, and he was like, dude, you're gonna ruin me. This is a great book. Like, you can't just name it anything. And he's like, well, I need a name by tomorrow. So he went and laid down to bed. He was like, Lord, I did everything. I made a damn good book. I worked my ass off. Please do not ruin me with the name of this. And he woke up in the morning with Think and Grow Rich. And it happened at the last minute before it went to printing. Really, it's just,
Wow.
and I wondered too if this is going to kind of be like that too. We're just going to be sitting there, and we're like, damn, what are we going to call this thing? Then bam.
Mm-hmm.
You could revive the old '80s commercial and say, "Where's the beef?"
Right.
Or that other commercial, beef. What's for dinner?
Hey, Rick, can you hear me now? How about that commercial? Because I can hear you on that one, Rick.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I can hear you fine. I used to love those commercials. They had that tune, every time I'd hear that, I get hungry.
Yeah, Sean, have you ever tried iguana?
I haven't.
Rick he gets them down there in Florida.
Hey, it's fresh and free range meat, and it's free.
And did he mention it's free, guys? He
Hey,
says they only scratch them once in a while.
Sean said, "You're thinking what type of live stream did I just get into?"
I'm not. Oh my goodness.
Hey, welcome to the Friday Night Hangouts, man. You might not stop by again. I don't know.
That's probably why I don't get invited to many live streams, because I'm a Looney Tunes.
Oh man, no, we know you've got more bananas than a movie monkey, Rick. But it's all good art though. We all love it. We all love it.
I mean, you gotta have fun, man. I cannot figure out why. Like every time I make a post, it posts up. Is it showing up 4 times for y'all like it is for me, or is it just me?
It's showing up 4 times.
When I post, it shows up twice.
Yeah,
it's something with StreamYard though, but it's all right. If make a post, ain't no biggie.
Oh man, I guess it's added for emphasis. I don't know.
That's okay. JT's gonna leave the drunk guy on there forever. So.
Is he on there talking crap? Oh,
no, you left it on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Oh, let me see the license and registration, sir.
You got a lot of plug tonight, man. I hope your drunk ass is happy, man. Whoever you are, man.
Focus, JT. Focus.
Right. Sean, what inspired the intentional carnivore name?
So the intentional part, that's interesting. So I was actually doing a Bible study, listening to this guy, Brad Gray from Walking the Text. and brilliant guy. He teaches this 7 lens context, like putting things in context, like when you're studying scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this teaching on Jesus, and he said, he just kept on talking about how Jesus was intentional in everything that he did when he came to earth.
Mm.
And so in my mind, I just got to thinking that, like, okay, well, if Galatians 2:20 says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ who lives in me. So the life that I now live, he's basically saying that I'm not living for myself. I'm born again, so Christ is living through me. And so if Christ was intentional with everything he did, and we claim as believers that he lives in us, then we must be intentional too, because he's living through us, right?
Mm.
So
So that's where the intentional part came from. I'm trying to be intentional about setting an example for everybody that might be interested in not only the physical healing from eating the carnivore way of eating, which I believe is how we were designed to eat, to function and appropriately and optimally, but also with my faith. I catch a lot of slack sometimes for it, but it's my faith. It's what got me through. It's what gives me hope, and it's what I'm looking forward to. You can believe how you want to believe, and so can everybody else.
Absolutely.
But this is my story, and my example. And if you're curious about it and want it, then by all means, I'm more than happy to share it with you. But I'm trying to be very intentional about showing love, about showing mercy, even though some people may not deserve it, may not need it, may not want it. I'm just trying to live and show love like I see that Christ showed to me. So, and that's all I can do.
That's
Amen to that.
awesome. Yeah, and with intentions comes thought.
Yeah.
So that's I go back to my book, Think and Grow Rich, man. You can grow
Mhm.
rich not just in money, but in experiences and blessings and meeting
Mhm.
people and affecting people's lives in a great way.
Well,
With thought, with intention.
if you think about it, how many successful people got successful by accident?
Very few, man.
Very few. How many?
Very few.
Anybody that did anything great, they put in dedication, they put in consistency. They failed multiple times, but they never gave up. They had determination, they had discipline,
Yep.
and they kept on the struggle. They failed, they got back up, they got back on track. And so, like, I don't believe that things happen by accident. I think that you have two choices in life. You can either sit there in misery, you can sit there until you die and just go with the flow, do your thing, be a slave to your own desires, or you can live intentionally, own your decisions, own your choices, whether that be a fail or whether that be a success. Either way, own what you chose to do. Don't make excuses and just do better. I mean, make a better choice tomorrow.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, Edison, they said he failed making the light bulb about 4,000 times, and they asked him about it. He said he figured out 4,000 ways not to make the light bulb. The failures were data on what doesn't work, and then it led him to what did work. So it was all intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't by accident. He got there through intentions.
Absolutely. I mean, failures are stepping stones that lead you to a success. I mean,
Mhm.
if I could show you the last 25 to 30 years of my life, I could show you failure after failure after failure after failure.
But you fail forward. You fall forward. You know what I'm saying? You keep, even though we're falling down, we're falling forward. So I hope people take that too from failure. It's like my coach would say, bless your obstacles as stepping stones, like you said. So that way they actually raise you up with the right mindset rather than hold you back.
Every failure teaches you a lesson. They teach
Mhm.
you what not to do next time, and it teaches you what doesn't work. That's useful information. What was that quote I wrote down?
I love it, man. He's always writing something down and reading it. That's why I love talking to him, man.
Oh man, it was so good. I had to find it, but
I heard the other day that hype travels fast while a good reputation travels slowly.
oh yeah.
That just stuck in my mind, and I think that's why, like, there's vegan and stuff, like all that hype, that'll travel fast. You know, it's on the news, whatever, but they don't want to talk about carnivore because there's no money in it. You know, and it actually helps people. It's got a good reputation. So, in my opinion, it's going to travel a little bit slower than the hype we hear about.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, people will latch on to something shiny and new quick, but like, you know, it's consistency and discipline and the things that work. You know, the struggle is where we find the things that work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it was so good. I had to find. I had to keep looking for it, man.
What,
I got
would you reading a book or something?
no. This is just. I just got like a little notebook. If you
Mm.
see, it's just like when something pops in my head, I write it down. When I hear a good quote, I write it down. Whenever, like when I was talking with John on the channel the other, like I'm writing stuff down. Like when I know I got a meeting coming up and I'm going to talk to somebody, I'm like, if I think of something throughout the week or whenever after we schedule it, like I'll go to my book and I'll like John's got a page in my book because when I schedule my meeting with him, I wrote his name at the top of the page, and like from the time I schedule it to the time that we talk, like I write anything that I feel like impressed to say to him or to ask him because I like being prepared. I don't like just showing up, you know, and nothing, you know, it may not seem like it, but I want to be prepared and have given thought to the time that I spend fellowshipping with the people, you know, that I'm doing work with, that I'm trying to reach people with.
Absolutely. I try to tailor the questions for chatting with carnivores to the person that's coming on, because I've had people ask me before, they're like, well, how come you don't give me set questions? And I'm like, well, if I did personalized questions for the guy before you and then I just looked up questions online, I would be doing you a disservice and not a service. So I'm here to serve, you know, not to do a disservice. So I'm right with you. I like that.
Absolutely. Anybody can put content out. Anybody can get on and just, you know, be there. But it's putting out stuff that people can use that's practical, that's going to help people. That, you know, that like content that's going to add or benefit in some way. Maybe it's just to give them a laugh. Maybe it's just to give them that one little bit of hope or that one. Like for me, I laid on the couch for 3 years watching YouTube. And, you know, I didn't do anything else, man. I had no hope. It was all I did, you know, and it just happened to be that one day two people were talking that neither one of them were real huge advocates for the carnivore way of eating, but they were talking about carnivore, and I just happened to come across it, and it triggered something in my mind that ended up being the portal, the vesicle, whatever you want to call it, that led me to change my entire life, you know, in ways I couldn't imagine, you know.
Would you take $10 million to go back to your old way to eating, Sean?
No, man, there's not there. You can't put a price tag on what I've been able to see and experience. It's a miracle, man. I mean, the depression alone isn't worth taking 10 million, but and that's a lot of money. But
What are you gonna
there's
do
not
with it though if you're not happy?
right. Yeah. What would I do? Laying on the couch, not being able to stay awake longer than a couple of hours at best a day, not being able to take a shower without sitting on the side of the tub, not being able to interact with people or even it was so bad I wouldn't even let my family open the blinds to the windows because I wanted it dark. I wanted it secluded and isolated. I was living in my own cage basically.
That's why this is so important, man, to talk about this diet, man. That's why I literally feel like I told Carrie, man, they're gonna have to put a bullet in my head to shut me up, man, because it's just too important. My wife's tried a bunch of diets, and this is finally working for you, right?
Yep. I agree. And like I think, you know, Sean, I think hope is a good part of the title, only because I feel like for the first time in a long time, it's given me hope to feel like I can finally make it to where I want to go. Like JT said, I've tried a lot of different ways to lose weight. I've never really been successful. I think Carrie said in one of his last videos, you know, him and his wife have done like diets and yo-yo diet that I'm sure a lot of people can share that experience. Like everything else has just been not great. And then this, I've been consistently going down every week, and it's been life changing. And I can actually see myself getting to where I want to go. And I haven't been able to see that for such a long time. And before that, I got to a point where I was just like almost gave up, thinking that I could lose weight. And that's a really sad point to get to. Like, I almost threw in the towel completely. So I never want to get to that point. And so I'm just happy that, we're here. I found this. JT helped me find it. And I am down a lot of weight. I'm down 76 pounds total. And so I want to definitely keep pushing forward and get to where I want to go. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
The more we say that name for that, man, I'm really liking it. Hope,
Yeah.
man. I honestly, because even if you're like Sophia and you're battling bulimia and you're down too much weight and you need to gain weight, like Aaron Edwards, he's another carnivore that's had to gain weight and he looks phenomenal. Like it's the best diet out there, whether you're too skinny or too fat. There's hope.
Hope
Yeah,
for
Or you just have sleep apnea or something. There's hope.
hope for the hopeless.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, that is a great name too. Because man, I know what it's like to be hopeless.
I think everybody, and there's still a lot of people who do feel hopeless. And then when they come across this, I think they're gonna be like, "It's a great one, though, Sean." They're gonna be like, "What is this?" And if you end up getting to name it, man, I think that's only fitting, buddy. I really do, man. Because Carrie said you were a big inspiration for him to even start the documentary. So it's just kind of like God speaking, man. If he ends up naming it, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go around, like, I mean, everybody on this panel sitting here, I mean, Rick obviously ate this way the longest out of anything. There's no telling what you have avoided throughout your life by eating this way for as long as you have, you know, but everybody has something that on this panel that they could probably go to and say, this has changed. This has given me hope. This has been made better when I didn't see anything that was capable of making it better. And I mean, as far as I'll turn the question back around on you with the $10 million, or to your wife, excuse me. Like, would you take $10 million if, like, you had to trade an extra 10 years on the end of your life to spend with your husband? No, I mean, it's rhetorical, right?
Right.
But
I hope
if,
so.
if it gives you 10 more years to spend, or 20 more years to spend with him, or if it gives you, an extended, 5 years, you're 75 and you can live to 80, you can't put a price tag on the benefits that it's going to give you in the long game,
Yeah, life itself, more days to breathe and live. And, like I almost died from sleep apnea. So, like, it just seems like kind of silly, but I was at Carrie's homestead just breathing in the air, man, and smelling the trees and the goat shit. I know it sounds weird, but like, like when you almost lost your breath, you learn to just take even something simple like that, and cherish the hell out of it.
And for me, like,
Yeah.
my son is like, and I mean, you're part of my motivation too, but like, my son is like one of my biggest motivations. And not to like shed light or like point at somebody else who recently passed, but a famous wrestler, Bray Wyatt, recently died from a heart attack, and he was not in the best shape. And so, like, I never want to be put in that position where I'm so overweight and not eating great that I die of a heart attack and I leave my family, like, that's just terrible. So, like, that's part of the reason I started this diet, is because I want to be in a better position for everybody. Like, I like you said, I want to have the 10-20 years longer to be around, and just to be there to support them and love them and have those extra memories, because that's what life is about, is having that family,
Being around to see a grandkid maybe one day, like
Right.
that's
Getting an
all.
echo.
You can't put a price on any of that stuff.
Yeah. And that wrestler, like, he left kids, a wife, like, that's just, that's terrible, man. They played the the footage of him with his family, and like it made me cry. Like I just can't even imagine. Like I don't want to ever see anybody in that position. Like it's sad, man. And that's why this documentary is so important. It's so important.
Yeah, and it's sad, man, because I wish we could make it at light speed because we're losing people along the way that we maybe, you know, it is what it is, but like we're doing this as fast as we can. That's why I'm brainstorming these ideas with you guys, because there are literally people, you know, that are relying on even this small group right here. It's important, man, that we get together. And even in the comments, everybody in the comments, like I got Kip up here. It's important to show your flaws and learn from your mistakes, Kip. And I'm glad, dude. I love Kip, man. He's out there jogging. Like, what a big inspiration, man. He's gonna be. I believe he's gonna run his 5K. He can run a 20K one day. Like,
Oh yeah.
he's gonna devour a K every K. You know, he's got it in him. I see, and I could just see it on his face. And I want to see that look on more people's face, man. Like, I want to see that hunger back, where they're just like, no, man, now I'm gonna kick the world in its ass because it's kicked me in my ass enough. Now I'm gonna kick it back. You know, like you said, hope
Yeah.
is big, man, and we're losing people along the way, which is why we got to keep
Oh yeah.
brainstorming, working towards this documentary. And you guys, there is. I just want to bring the. Let me pull this down just for a second, Kip. I got the. I'll have to pull it back up to show the link here. CarnivoreDietMovie.com. There is promo materials for the stream on the 16th of September coming up. Like there's like thumbnails, there's Instagram ones, there's all different ones you can post to put on Twitter, Instagram. And if you guys could share that, even just the people on the panel and Minimalist Carnivore, you too, Chad, everybody in the comments, because if we can drum up a big support for that live stream on the 16th, that's our fundraising mechanism. And our voice, you know, for this documentary. So we've got about 8 days now. We've got a big task ahead of all of us, you know. And I know some of you guys might not be on the documentary committee, but you guys technically are, man, because you guys are involved in seeing this get made and throwing ideas out. Like you know who to hit up anybody who's involved in it and just make your ideas, you know, heard. It's important, guys, because like I said, we're losing people along the way. So we need all the ideas, all the help, all the support we can get, really.
Absolutely.
John, you got something to say, bud?
What's that?
You got something to say, John?
No, we just had an echo there. I was just saying we got somebody's, you know, got an echo on their side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably the noise echo cancellation thing isn't checked. I don't know. It's all good.
Well, how did everybody's week go? We're at Friday. Anybody have a tough week?
I still got to work tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
I got to work tomorrow too.
Yeah, what you working on, Rick?
I got to clean out an air conditioner. I got one of my customers that has a rental unit and the air conditioner is freezing over. So I'm going to have to go over there and pull the coil out there, clean it up, solder it back in, you know, fill it back up and get that done. I spent today digging a ditch. I was trying to fix an electrical problem. I was working with 2 younger guys, and again, it's amazing. You know, these are guys in their 20s and 30s and they're complaining about all the back trouble. I was down in the hole sitting on my knees, you know, chipping away at it with a sledgehammer, and they just can't figure it out. You know, how old are you? I'm 55. They're like, I don't get it. You know, how can this old guy and then on top of that, I'm skinny and I'm over there banging away on this thing with a Johnson bar, and you don't get tired. And no, not really. I mean, I'm not working that hard. I'm not going max. I'm going maybe 50%. But wow, I'm like, and you know, they take their shirt off and they got the big stomach sticking out. I'm thinking that, you know, and I see everybody I know looks like that. And, you know, all these years I've been eating like this and doing my thing. I never really thought about it. And now I'm starting to realize what's really going on. And that's kind of frustrating because no one really pays attention to me. Everybody thinks that I'm just a wacko. And of course, I cook my lunch on the engine like I usually do. They looked at me like, what's that? Well, I cooked some meat on the engine. Yeah, they went and they got a sandwich, one of those submarine sandwiches and a soda. Like, I couldn't eat that. That's duck food. And I said, "You want a sandwich?" I'm like, "No." "You want a pizza?" "No, I don't want a pizza." I said, "There's no ducks around here. I just want a piece of meat." But I always keep some in my truck, so I'm good. But it is a pretty standard week otherwise.
Yeah, I went out Carrie's homestead. That was just wild, and I ate those ribeyes for the next 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. That ribeye, it was like,
So good.
oh my gosh, it was like 2.5 inches thick. Like, was insane. But he did a reverse sear. It's the first time I had a reverse sear. So, do you
Same
guys
here.
reverse sear anything?
That's the only way I cook it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Do you use the beef tallow when you do it?
I just throw it on the pan, put it in the oven for 22 minutes, and then throw it on the grill. I don't even use tallow.
Okay. Okay. And have you ever tried tallow, Sean?
I've used it once. I either use butter or bacon grease. I haven't used. I used tallow once, but I was like, nah. I don't know if I had the right kind or nothing. I heard the Wagyu tallow in the black can. I've seen some people talk about that and say it's pretty good, but I don't know, man. I guess I'm too lazy. It's just like, it's so simple. I just throw it in on the flat pan or whatever, and then throw it on the grill and do 5 at a time, and I'm good for 5 days.
What about sous vide? Are you guys sous videing anything?
Yeah, that's what I do. I like to sous vide the ribeyes and then reverse sear them in the grill or in a cast iron pan and ghee.
I've never tried anything sous vide yet, so
it is.
I don't like plastic bags.
I hear you, but if you get the right kind of, and I mean, I know that it's splitting hairs, but the food grade ones are not supposed to have any kind of crossover contamination. But yeah, I don't trust it either.
Yeah.
I got a Blackstone grill. We just cook them on the grill when I want them.
There you go.
Nice.
Do you sous vide anything, Graham?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. It's all like
It's like you put meat in like a bag, and then they heat it up with set it at a temperature, and then it cooks the meat and keeps it real soft.
okay.
Yeah, basically
Real
just
tender, I guess.
you put it in a vacuum seal bag, so it's under a vacuum. Sous vide is French for cooked in vacuum. And so you put it in a vacuum so that none of the juices or anything can, what's the word? They can't evaporate, right? So none of the moisture can evaporate. And then it holds it at a perfect temperature so you put it in there like I do mine at usually 129 degrees to 131 degrees, but it's in a saturated water inside the vacuum seal bag, and then it holds it at that perfect temperature that breaks down all the white tissue, so it's super tender. And then you take it out, pat it dry, and then you sear it, and so you get kind of the perfectly cooked meat, and then a good sear on top, and it's just super tender, but you'd also really juicy because none of the juices evaporate.
Interesting. It sounds like what I do with aluminium foil. Putting the meat in the aluminium foil and then cook it with butter.
Yeah, that's very similar, but if you do it in aluminum foil, it'll steam it, so the juices turn into steam. Where this keeps it from steaming at all, so none of the juices are lost, and it doesn't steam anything. It basically just brings it up to the temperature around it, all gradually all to the same temperature, and you can't overcook it. So it's pretty amazing, actually. It works really well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I had Lynn on last night. She was on here earlier, but she's gonna send me the link to some Amazon's a sous vide machine. So because
they're super affordable. They're like I
think she said it was like $37.
Yeah, you can get them for, I was gonna say, like for under $50, and they're just basically the sous vide machines are just a water circulator. It circulates and heats water. That's all it does.
How about pressure frying? Anybody else do pressure frying?
I've never heard of it.
You get some lard or tallow and you put your meat in a pressure cooker, close it up, and pressure fry it.
Huh.
I've heard of that before too.
That's the way Colonel Sanders used to cook the chicken, except I think he used seed oils. It's the same concept.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's good. I love it.
What's your favorite cut of beef, Rick? We'll start with you.
T-bone steak. I love T-bone steak, although I hardly ever get to eat it because it's too expensive.
Interesting. Sean, what about you?
Ribeye. I eat a ribeye every day. I love it. I can't get enough. I thought I'd get tired of it because I used to never even like steak, but I love it. I love it every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, before Carnivore, I really didn't eat much steak, but then ever since I just cannot stop eating it now. Graham, what about you?
I would agree with you on ribeye as well.
John?
Ribeye is my go-to.
Ribeyes. Todd?
Man, I do love ribeyes, but I actually think I like a porterhouse better, which is just a really thick T-bone.
Bubba, what do you got, Bubba?
Up here we call it prime rib.
Prime rib?
Oh.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is ribeye, right?
I was gonna say that, but that's not a steak. My favorite meat to cook is a 4-bone prime rib roast sous vide, but it's I don't know why they taste so much different than a ribeye steak, but man, they are delicious.
Yeah, I think that ribeye was good.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of New York strips though. Like I just, for some reason, I like the less fatty ones sometimes. But when I'm in the mood for like the fatty ones, that ribeye was just amazing.
I agree. I like the ribeyes probably a little bit more though than the New York strip.
Yeah, and we're gonna go to this farmer, Hickory Road
Sunday.
Farm, on Sunday, and I want to see what he's got, and I'm gonna try to make a little vlog and help get him some business. I think too with the movie, the documentary, we can get more people that start to know their farmer and go less to Walmart, or something like that. Start changing the culture a little bit, the carnivore culture.
Absolutely. Yeah, I bought chickens for eggs, and I've been surprised how much better those eggs taste. Man, I can't go back to normal eggs now. They're so much better. It's crazy.
I've never had a egg that wasn't from the store.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
they're so
What's different about it?
They're so tasteless now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like even the yolk when you bust a yolk an egg open that like farm raised or whatever, man, it's totally the color of the yolk is even different. Like it's so much darker. Yeah, it's almost like the
What are they
ones
doing to the eggs?
I don't know, man, but
They
it's
eat
almost
better.
it looks bleached.
Yeah, that's what.
something.
It seems. Yeah. You think they're bleaching the eggs so that they look really white in the packages? And
My
that's
sister
probably
said
the
they
egg?
are. My sister's the one that raises my chickens for me because she's got a bunch of them. She said they bleach them, and all I can tell you is I ran out of eggs a couple weeks ago, and I had a store-bought package, and I ate those, and I was like, "What is this garbage?" It was
Really?
tasteless, bland junk.
Hmm.
And the way they
So
raise them,
JT,
they
how
can
did
tell what they
JT?
inject them with.
What's up?
How did you make it out to see Homestead How and not get some chicken eggs while you were there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I got so infatuated with the goats. Plus, man, when me and Carrie like get in the zone, man, we even like we only took a total of 2 photos together.
Yeah.
I actually one photo together. Then I took one photo of him with his plaque because he had never taken a photo. He wanted his plaque for so long, and he finally gets his 100,000 subscribers plaque, and he never takes a photo with it. I was like, bro, I need you to take a photo. And I sent it to him. I texted to him. I'm like, dude, that's for your Instagram. And he's like, thanks. But otherwise, we got so into hanging out, and we're just YouTubers. Like we just love, so we just had fun and just kept filming and just totally. Then it was almost over, and he was like, crap, I need a thumbnail photo. And I was like, crap, dude, we didn't even take a photo together. So, man, I guess I just got caught up into driving the golf carts, and it was fun. And then we went to the movie theater, and I watched this YouTuber Jasko, Jasko, and he does some like, now we're getting around Halloween. He does some kind of creepy stuff where he just literally he'll go in like a haunted house by himself, like an actual regular ass house that's the doors are open and slamming and stuff is flying off. And so we pulled that up on the big screen, and then I was like, dude, Carrie, I want to walk around and like see if you got any ghosts, because that movie theater has been around since before Lincoln was president. So if there's any ghosts, they got to be in there. And it's coming
You
up
know
in
that
one of the other parts I got coming, but we did have. He's got the basement where he streams from. You know, when the movies are going. When you leave out that room, there's like a white cabinet to like the left of the door. He went out first, then I went out, and then all of a sudden we heard this noise behind us, and we looked. That cabinet was swinging open pretty fast, man. Like somebody had just, and he was like, "Dude, that cabinet just opened." I was like, "Yeah, I saw. That's
you know
wild."
the town of Monticello, right outside of where he lived, burnt down twice. The
Really?
whole town burnt down twice. Look at the history, man. I researched it before I interviewed with him because I wanted to know some stuff about him. I don't work with people I don't like find out stuff about first. I told you that, but like I was like, I want to know where is he, who is he, where is he from, like
You
those
ever hear
kinds of
Nardwar?
Nardwar.
Yeah, he's an interviewer. Nardwar, Nardwar, and he's kind of like that, Sean. You would like him. Like he literally comes up with things, and people are like, "How would you know? You wouldn't know that, and like unless you were like my family." And he never gives away how he finds any of his info, but he's just whoever he interviews, he dives so deep. They're like, "How did you know that? Who are you
Yeah.
talking to?" You know what I'm saying? So
I don't
check
go
out
crazy
Nardwar.
deep, but yeah, I have to check it out.
Yeah, he's real interesting. He passed away, but he interviews a lot of the music artists, and they're always like usually tripping out, like because he knows things that they barely knew about themselves.
Hey,
What-
JT.
yeah, what's up?
Hey, I'm gonna have to split out of here. So, I got to get up early in the morning and still work tomorrow. So, hey, Sunday at noon, gonna have a live stream. I have JT confirmed. I have Wick Goes Carnivore confirmed. I have Carnivore Soldier confirmed, and Intentional Carnivore is confirmed to be all there. So we're gonna have 5 of us in the live, and we're gonna be talking about non-scale victories. That'll be the whole discussion, is talking about things that you found or got cured or put in remission that is related to not the scale. We're not worried about the weight. We're just going to talk about the health improvements and the benefits of the carnivore diet. So hopefully everybody can tune in at that time.
Absolutely. If I get my shirt tomorrow, I'll wear it for the stream.
If I got mine, we both wear it, but I just don't think you're going to make it here till Monday.
Yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed, though. I appreciate you, John.
All right, but you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, I like the blue light,
See
man.
you,
It's
John.
looking good.
Take care, brother.
You like the blue light back there?
I
Yeah, I
love
picked
it,
it up.
dude.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
LED
nice.
light from Walmart.
Man, it looks great.
Might be Kmart with a blue light special.
Hey,
Oh,
Rick.
I used to
You got
work
some
there. Don't
deals
get me
going on
started.
there, Rick. Thanks, John. No,
Attention
I
Kmart
appreciate it.
shoppers.
I know, man.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, have a good
You
one,
too.
bud.
Take
Good
care.
Good night.
Todd, I like that. Todd with the
Oh.
what brand
Oh,
was that again,
God.
Todd? That hat?
Oh, it's a Resistol. Everybody knows Stetson, but I've been a Resistol guy since I was just 5 years old, so it's my favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, no, Sean, I am loving that name though. Hope. What do you guys think? For that is, I'm really liking. That's been my favorite one I've heard so far,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and it's simple, and it sparks the curiosity. You know, like, well, what do you mean? What is this hope? You know what? It's because some people lost it or can't find it. So if they do see it on Netflix, I think it's going to get a click.
Some people lost it. Some people can't find it, and everybody wants it.
Mm.
Absolutely.
You guys got. Let's go through our favorite books here. Anna, what's your favorite book? Besides Bible, we're not talking about everybody's like that should be everybody's favorite. I mean, come on,
I
now.
feel like I can't say Harry Potter because it's the same thing as the movies. But favorite series, A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah, my favorite book is my coach's one so far. I can't stop reading it. Think and Grow Rich. It's a really good book. It's about your mind, soul, and and your body. Not just it's really nothing to do with money. You pick up most of these books about money, they'll talk about your mind and nothing about money. Yeah. Bubba, what's yours?
Oh, I think there's a tie. One would be the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. The other one would be Oh, what is it? The one by Viktor Frankl there, Man's Search for Meaning.
Mm,
Mm.
that's a good one. I still got it. You did send me the first one. What was it again?
The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, you sent me a screenshot of that. I still got to check that out.
Yeah,
Looks amazing. Todd, what about you?
it's
Oh, I'm sorry, Bubba. What were you gonna say?
it's very deep. Sometimes you'll have to reread a paragraph 5, 6 times to actually get what's being said, right?
Yeah, that's how Think and Grow Rich. Sometimes I have to read the same sentence over a couple times because the wordplay is just so like tantalizing to my brain. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I've never read something like that, so you just got to keep reading it. Todd, what
Mhm.
about you?
The Gulag Archipelago.
I've never heard that one. What's
Oh,
it
you
about?
know, oh, it's one of the greatest books ever written. Actually, it's about what is that guy? Stalin. Oh man, I can never pronounce his name, but it was about a guy, and it's a true story. What's amazing about it is it's like 1,500 pages. This guy wrote in his head while he was in a gulag in Russia,
Mm.
and he basically it's hard. It's basically about his crazy stories about how deep and dark the human soul can get, right?
Hmm.
And so basically just like the Germany's Nazis, how they all thought they're good people, like Jordan Peterson always says, if you asked a whole room of people if you know if they would have pulled the switch on the gas chambers, everybody would say no, they're not that person. But the reality of it is everybody can be talked into that through propaganda, that there's a high percentage of people that can allow themselves to slip that way. So you can't, you cannot, you can never take for granted our own, fallen nature for evil, and so you got to understand it's not something you can play with, it's something you can sink into the deepest depths of. It's, yeah, you'd have to read it, but it is crazy. And the man, he was in a gulag and he couldn't even write it down. He had to remember 15. He wrote that book in his head, and he wrote 1,500 pages of the greatest, one of the greatest books of all time. And he had memorized it when he got out of the gulag when he was freed as a prisoner. He wrote that book, and it's one of the greatest books of all time. It's like one of Jordan Peterson's like top 5 books that
Make
he's
sure you
ever
text
written.
it to me, Todd, if you
Yeah,
can.
will do.
Graham, what about you? What's your favorite book?
Like you said, I'm not a person that reads books basically, but my favorite one is obviously the Bible. But there's one particular book in the Bible that's in the Apocrypha, which is Ecclesiasticus, which is like yeah, which is like for me if you know Proverbs, if you've read Proverbs, this is like the level up to Proverbs. Going very deep into how a person should be living and with family or your father, your mother, diving deep into that one scripture, honor your father, your mother, um, and diving deep into that, how to treat the elderly as a young person. So yeah, I was like blown away with how this book of Ecclesiasticus was explored, that areas of Proverbs. So yeah,
The
that's
fear
my
of God.
I like that. What about you, Sean?
Oh man, obviously the Bible. I just wanted to tell him he's talking about Proverbs. I'm like, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Eh?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
that's
So
my favorite.
yeah. Um. So I love the Bible. But I don't know, man. I like the extreme ownership was huge. Jocko Willink. Um. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Those were 2 books that I was reading when, at the time when I found Carnivore and started trying to make life change, and it just made sense.
Hmm.
I like, I don't know, there's so many, man. No, there not really any classics that I've read that are like, you know, standing out, but just a lot of stuff. I can read books that are not really that great and get something from it though. I don't know. I've been reading, what is it, 48 Rules for
Laws of
Power.
Power.
Yeah, Laws of Power. Yeah, Robert Greene.
That's a good
It
one.
was pretty good. Atomic Habits. I mean, James Clear. Obviously, it's got some great points in it. Those are just a few, and then excuse me, I always call him General Admiral William McRaven's "Make Your Bed." It was a pretty good read. So that's the ones that recently that I've been reading that I believe are pretty good. I've got two or three more that what is it? Brianna Weiss is "The Mountain Is You." I'm about to read that one. And 101 things that'll change the way you think, or something like that. I don't agree with everything. A lot of them, well, everything that they say, but I can always find something that will give me.
Helps you.
Yeah, it just gives me something. So that's
Yeah, I always look
probably.
for something to raise the awareness.
If it was just one, I'd have to say Extreme Ownership was probably my favorite book, just because it just helped me to understand. Look, own it. Either way,
Actually, yeah. What about you, Rick?
Well, as you know, I don't read a lot of books. And again, the last time you asked me the question, I mentioned the Bible would have been number one. But in terms of books, I can tell you a couple that I read that were quite interesting. And one of the first was after I started the diet, which was in the 1980s. There was actually a book called Propaganda by Edward Bernays. And if you've ever read that, it explains some of the ways that unseen people make decisions and they try to manipulate the masses to believe a certain thing. And I always thought that was fascinating when you read through the book and you see the whole process behind it. And then I think of myself, when I look at an advertisement, it just doesn't move me. They had mentioned that there's certain people that just don't, that are, you can't really control them. There's certain people that can't be hypnotized. So there's a very small minority that's you won't be able to control, but the vast majority you can control, because once you know what motivates them, the things that make them want to do something, then you have power over them. But when you can't get to that, you can't really get to that power. And another book that I remember, which came later, is called The Creature from Jekyll Island. And I can't remember the author's name, but it talks about how the central banking system works. And I was always fascinated to see, how they manipulate the money supply and they do their things. And you read that. I think the name is Edward Griffin. That's his name, Edward Griffin. I think he's still alive too. I know Bernays kicked the bucket a long time ago, but those are two that come to mind. But I generally don't read books, but and of course, when it comes to fiction and all that, I don't even waste my time. But anything that is like a perspective of a person that had a lot of influence, I definitely would look into that.
That's great. I like those suggestions, Rick. That's cool. Before we wrap
Yeah, I
up, I
really
just
think.
want to know what's that, Todd?
Oh, no worries. I was just going to say, I really think propaganda is one of the number one things that's wrong with our food and health. That's why I don't know I changed my channel page, and I think Rick would like it. I don't know if you can pop it up there or not, JT, but
What you got?
it's the Matrix theme with the red pill, blue pill, because I put my before picture with the blue pill and my after picture with the red pill, because that's what's totally wrong.
I've never even seen that movie because I boycotted movie theaters in the 1980s. I've heard all this talk about Matrix movie. I've never seen it.
I think you'd really like it. Honest to God, from a Christian standpoint, I really do believe that Bible or that
Oh, there
movie
you
was.
go. Yeah, that looks cool, man.
Yeah, I really do believe that movie was. The people that wrote it were influenced by the Bible, very much so.
You guys go and smash the subscribe button for Todd, man. We can get him up. We can get him up over 400. That's for sure. We got to get him to 1,000. We got to get him monetized, man, so he's get a bigger voice out here.
I sure appreciate it. But yeah, I was happy. I was like, man, I got to get the red pill, blue pill in there somehow.
No, that's so awesome. I see him there, dude. That's so awesome. You did great, man.
Thank you. Rod from Stay Strong, Live Long.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he helped me with that
committee.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, he helped me with that, so that was
Oh, okay.
awesome.
He does great work. He does great work. I just want to, before we wrap things up, I just like going and seeing what's on everybody's hearts, at the end of the week here, and a message they want to share to whoever's listening. So I'll start with you. You got something on your heart?
I think just that, I think just to give it a try. I think, if you have to ease into it with keto and do that. But really just to keep an open mind and take those steps. It doesn't all have to be head first, but you want to keep trying to keep going forward, because it is such a impactful like lifestyle change. I can't speak to how impactful it's been for me. It's been amazing. I feel so much better, and I think it could help a lot of people. And there's a couple of people on my mind that I really wish that I could reach. So I just really want to encourage more people just to try to do research, think about it, maybe take those steps, a couple steps farther, and see if they can't get a little farther with the carnivore diet or give it a try, those sorts of things. So
that's good. Yeah, for me, what's on my mind right now is honestly, man, Sean, you got me fired up with that hope. I'm fired up with that. Honestly, like hope is on my mind because it's true, man. Hope is here, and some people might not. Like for me, like I was so glad that Kerry shared his story, man, because I never heard of Dr. Chafee. I never heard of Dr. Barry, like I was in my own little bubble and I never heard of him, and I've obviously heard of Joe Rogan, but I never really watched his podcast. I check him out when he's on a UFC fight when I was watching those, but like I never really checked him out. I was like, well, he's got a podcast. That's cool. Who doesn't these days, So I never heard of it. So I just really want people to keep talking. Don't shut up. Like if you're alive and you've got breath in your lungs, it's for a reason. The Lord has put you here for a reason. And it's to spread that hope, honestly. And man, I'm telling you, I'm burning alive with fire now, man. I like that hope, man. I'm obsessed with that now, Sean. So that's what's on my heart right now. Bubba, what about you, bud?
Oh, well, I'd have to say now I'm starting to wake up a little bit, but uh, the thing that blows me away is when I come on these live streams is actually how deep and thoughtful everybody is that I meet. I greatly appreciate it. And as far as us going through our journeys, the one way that's going to push everything forward is if we complete our journeys and show everybody it's, we can talk all we want, but if we don't show anybody anything, it means nothing, right?
Right.
A real man never has to tell you who they are. They'll show you by their actions.
Fact.
That's great, Bubba. I
Yeah.
like it. Is that up, Bubba? Or
Well, I think it's as simple as you got to keep plugging away, and people are asking for support. You give them, and I know myself. Like I I don't think I've missed answering one question that's been sent to me, and I left an Instagram there for people to get a hold of me if they're in trouble or if they want to talk, and I've had a few people do that, and I'm not scared to go out of my way to do that for people, right?
right.
It's we all got our thing and we're all got our trauma, but we can always make something better and help somebody out and pay it forward. I mean, that's about it. I mean, what else can you do?
Exactly. Here, let me pull up your channel real quick, Bubba.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to pull up each one's on their way out here. So give everybody a little promo here. Bubba, you guys go hit the subscribe channel for Bubba here. Look at him, man, out here posing left and right. He's feeling good.
That's awesome.
And he's doing good. You know what I'm saying? Bubba, new video's doing good too, right? Yeah, 1,600 views. Bubba's killing it, man. Honesty with the carnivore diet. Love it. Todd, what about you, bud? What's on your heart?
Man, I just, you know, every time the more and more carnivores I meet, just kind of like Bubba was saying, I'm just surprised. We all have a lot of things in common, but to me, the spirit of the whole thing is amazing to me because we all have kind of the same, I don't know, spiritual goal. It seems like to me, but I don't know. I just haven't been saying it enough, but I've been giving carnivore too much of the glory. And, this all started with me being on my knees praying, to get my health back.
Thank
And
you, Todd.
I just don't think, I think people, I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but man, I just say if you're in a dark spot and you're in a bind, you've got to give it to God. And, God will pull you through it, because I've been a Christian my whole life and, spirit filled, you know, talk to God every day, but for whatever reason, my health was the last thing that I gave over to Him. And as soon as I did, as soon as I was on my knees, God gave me a miracle. And every miracle is not miraculous and instant, but it was with revelation and brought me to the carnivore diet.
So it was a
And
miracle nonetheless.
yeah, and I mean, there's never been anything more meaningful in my life that I've ever done or gone through than what I'm going through right now. I can tell you that without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah, I'd just say, man, it is amazing. God's alive and well and working, and He definitely completely gave me a new shot at life, and it's incredible.
Yeah, look at everybody on the screen right now. He's brought together, and everybody in the comments, man. It's just he's working, man. Graham, what about you? What's on your heart?
Well, I agree with Todd. My journey also started on my knees, um, praying for a breakthrough. And for me, if I look at how the word gels with this carnivore diet, it tells me the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. And finding the truth, this truth of the carnivore diet, our meat heals, and hearing what outside there, the lies of the sad diet, the lies that's in there. So for me, what my message is normally, here's the truth. As the pulse, as Todd suggested, the red and the blue, but here's the truth. And it shall set you free from all these sickness, weight, excess weight, and all this. This is what it meant for me, basically for me in my heart to get across. And yes, to be that example. Everybody seeing me, this is how I looked, and seeing me now, it's like, what happened? And that's it. To me, it's like, that's the truth. That just happened. And it's for me, it's always that funny thing just to add the Bible to this diet and say, it's truth. This is the truth that sets me free from all this bondage, which was the weight. And now it's still busy trying to free me from the hypertension tablets. So that hope is also so important. And in some saying the miracle as well. It was a miracle for me that um for the 6 months that I had a weight loss, like extreme weight loss, that I was like stunned myself that I was struggling for all these years. I think for 5 years struggling to get down. And yeah. So for me, the message out there is, as Anna also mentioned, just try it. Um, it will make a difference. It is the truth. So yeah, thanks.
That was awesome, Graham. I love it. What you got, Sean? What's tugging on your heartstrings?
Oh man, I got a full heart, bro. The preaching of the cross is foolishness to those who perish, but to those of us who are saved is the power of God unto salvation. And so, Carnivore can absolutely do what. I don't even recognize that guy anymore that I used to be.
That's
Um,
insane, man. You've been transformed.
yeah, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And So I don't know, man. Like honestly, I just want people to know that there's hope. I want them to know that there's a way out. I want them to know that they don't have to continue living an unfulfilled, unfruitful, unoptimal life. You know, even though you think you've tried everything, number one, I would say that seek God, seek a power outside of yourself. That will help your spiritual and your mind. And then try the carnivore diet, because there's absolutely no nutrition on earth that's going to make your body perform the way that the carnivore diet, eating fat and protein, is going to do for you. It's just not. I mean, it radically changed the way that my whole body felt. So it took care of the physical side, and God lifted my spiritual side up. And you put those two things together, and it gives you the potential to do something great. There's nothing, absolutely not one thing special about my journey that you can experience. I'm not saying you'll lose the kind of weight I lost in the same amount of time, and that's not important. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that if I'm able to do what I have done, you have the ability to do it just the same. Just get up and go to work every day and put in that work, and it's gonna happen. It can happen. And so there's that. And then the last quote, it's not even a quote, it's just something that I wrote down that I was thinking whenever I was reading today. It'd be the last outside thing for me. There's a huge difference between solitude and isolation. Solitude helps us gain perspective. Isolation is the evidence that we've lost it.
Mm,
So
I
if you
love that.
find yourself isolating, if you find yourself removing yourself from friends, from family, from interactions, let that be a sign to show you that something's not going right. Take steps right then to change that situation. It's okay to seek help. If you need to get help, seek help. Talk to a friend, find a confidant, someone that you can speak with that cares about you and loves you, and can help you get out of that situation before it gets worse.
That's amazing. I love it. Rick, what's on your heart, bud?
Well, you brought up a good point earlier about when people are depressed, and I've seen this over and over again. They close the things over the windows and they go into a dark place. And I was thinking about Proverbs 4, starting with verse 18. I don't know if you're familiar, where it talks about the light gets brighter and brighter. And,
Mm-hmm.
In my case, I'm not like most of the carnivores that are out there, they have obesity, health problems, whatever it is. They started the diet as a way of getting relief. They're trying to find a way to get to that light. I started for a totally different reason. I started because I wanted to get a heart attack. I wanted to get bigger. But the thing is, my life has followed the same path, because even though I wasn't in a dark place, I feel like I was in darkness because I didn't realize that this was actually something good. I thought it was something bad, but it's actually something good because I don't really think that much. I work alone. I spend a lot of time by myself, and when I work with other people, I don't really pay attention. But since I've been familiar in the last year with the carnivore community, and I see all these examples, and I watch their videos, and I comment on pretty much every one that I see. I was just watching a video today of what's that gal's name, Lily Kane, that she's pretty popular, and she was talking about lifespan versus health span. But the more that I watch these videos and the more I try to communicate with people, I realize that what I've been doing all this time was actually an example that people could have followed. And all these years, I tried to get people to do what I was doing, but they didn't want to do it. I mean, only two people have tried it. One of them's been doing it for 23 years, but the other one, he did it for a few months and died. But still, it's just now I'm trying to think, well, what can I do to make that light even brighter? How can I turn them to see it so they can say, you know what? Maybe I've been going this way all these years. Maybe I should go that way. Maybe there's something out here that I can try that I didn't see before. So that's why I've been so active, for a long time. I'm on YouTube since 2007. And I didn't do a whole lot, but now that I see what's happening, it's like it lit a fire under me. And now I'm saying, you know what, I need to get out there and I need to basically kind of preach this message that, yeah, I mean, you could try it. I mean, what have you got to lose? Maybe a little bit of time, whatever. It either works or it doesn't. But you see all these examples, and every time I see a new one, it's like, hey, I got somebody else I can refer you to. It's not just, oh, Rick, the crazy guy that feeds ducks and wants a heart attack. Now it's like, look, I got all these other people I can show you. I'm not the only one. You know, it's not just the vegans that have their examples. We're a community too. So I'm just trying to find my place in this whole thing.
Ricky, you got a very important voice. You really do. Don't ever forget that, bud. And we all do. We all do. And Rick, I'm glad. I feel the fire too. I feel like I've had a fire lit under my ass too. Just even after my first 30 days, like I was telling Carrie, my first 20s, like the first 27 days of the carnivore diet, I smoked pot. But after that, I stopped. Like 28th day, it was like a miracle occurred, man. I just fell high from my steak, and like it did nothing for me, man. The pot did nothing for me, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I think,
Well,
yeah,
that's another thing. I was just talking to someone today. You know, I know a lot of people, they still smoke pot and they use edibles and all that. And they asked me, have you ever tried it? I said, well, I don't like smoke. It makes me sick. I have tried. I've experimented, you know, it was by accident, but I got some of those edibles and it didn't really do much for me. It didn't feel good. I thought, you know what? Because most of the commercial ones, they're just nasty duck food. They're like jelly beans or some other sugar crap. They taste nasty. But what I did, I tried to prank somebody by putting homemade cannabis oil in popcorn, and I ended up eating some of it by accident.
you
And
pranked
you know,
yourself, bro.
well, but you know what? It wasn't the same thing. You know, I can sit there and have a big juicy steak, and let me tell you, I get a better feeling from the steak, and I don't know how to explain it, but it just, you know, yeah,
That's
you
what
you
I'm
take
feeling
the
too now, Rick. Though it's hard to
that's it.
explain.
You take that cannabis, yeah, you get a little, you know, but I don't really see any advantage to it. I mean, the steak
No.
does the same thing, so what's the point?
All right. But Rick, I just to end on what you were saying, I really think we should all start thinking how we could increase this light. You know, how we could spread it more. You know, Robin the other day, she said she wanted to start reaching more African American women, you know, and I said, that's great. Anything I could do to help you? And she's like, well, any ideas? And the only idea I had was like kind of what Carrie, you know, was to take a business card. And I told her, put your name on there and say that, you know, state your mission. You're looking to help more African American women on the card, and that, you know, you lost this weight and you helped improve this condition. And if you are experiencing things, you know, here's my number. Like, I think we should just start searching for our own. How can we level up our carnivore game here to start reaching more people that we aren't reaching in the meantime when the documentary isn't out there yet? So I don't, if it's cards for you guys, maybe start looking in some personal cards, you know, just make a card for yourself to give to somebody and say, hey, man, if you think about it or do try it or want to try it or you want to talk about it, my number's on there. And I think it'd be great, man. So I don't know, just something to throw out there to you guys. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I had business cards made like 4 months ago, so and I keep them in my pouch. So if I start talking about it or something like that, and somebody says, "Where's your channel?" I just give them the card, and it's right there.
That's great.
So
That's great. Yeah, so I was thinking about making some and putting some carnivore information on there because right now I just got general Poco Moonshine ones and doesn't say anything carnivore. So
I just made some up, but kind of something I was thinking is I had a QR code put on it and I'm only going to carry a couple. I'm not going to give them out because I'm going to try to get people to scan it with their phone because then it's in their phone, you know.
That's
and
a good
it'll take
idea
you to
too.
the channel.
See, I'm glad we're bouncing these ideas off because it's going to make us more effective out here. I really do believe that.
I
Well,
was
you
thinking
guys,
about that too with the QRs.
yeah, the QRs.
Yeah, you print one of those up. Maybe you could even put it on something that you carry. You know, it doesn't even have to be a card.
Right, I got one special one made that's metal. That's just got the QR code on it. I'm just going to keep my wallet, and it's not to give out. It's just so that they can scan it, and then they'll have all my social media. You know.
That's great. That's a good idea. So hopefully, everybody on the panel and everybody watching's got some good ideas, some good tips, some knowledge and everything. I know I got a lot out of this tonight, and I've had a lot of fun too at the same time. So who says you couldn't be serious and have fun at the same time? Because we just did it.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. It's been a blast. We'll do it again next Friday. The door's open to everybody. I will put all your channels in the link of this description. And you guys have a great weekend. I love you guys. Really, I do, man.
You too, brother. We'll see you
Thank you.
soon.
Yep. All right,
Okay.
we're out, guys. I'll do my duck
All right.
face on the